right, we're on to another week. It is Sunday. I have my grocery list for Aldi. I have my meal plan for the week. Let me take you through what I'm planning on making this like weeks in the past. This is my tentative plan. Things could change, and we just kind of roll with it, and that's okay. But I'm planning on Copycat Applebee's honey pepper chicken mac and cheese. I've got chicken strips from Butcher Box I will use for that. And then Monday, homemade cheeseburger pizza with fruit. I have some pizza crust that I ordered in a Thrive order, and so we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm just leaving it at fruit. It might be applesauce, it might be apples, it might be bananas. I don't know what fruit we're going to have. Whatever looks good either at Aldi or that we have at home. Tuesday's Halloween, so we're going to do mummies, which is just hot dogs wrapped in crescent rolls. Usually I make the crescent rolls from scratch, but my daughter asked that I buy the kind in like the pop tubes, which is fine because we are really busy on Halloween anyways. And then we got some French fries in our Ruby's Pantry. The hot dogs are actually, I'll probably stop by my mom's and get some out of the freezer that I have there, but we also have some in the freezer here from our Fair for All, and then some apples. Wednesday, the kids eat at church, so I plan on something that my husband and I will like that maybe my kids wouldn't like, and I plan that for Wednesday. So Frontier corn chowder and saltine crackers. I have a Frontier dry soup mix that I will use up for that, just like I did last Wednesday. Thursday, crock pot pinto beans and rice. Friday, a pasta bake. I've got leftover sauce in the freezer, and I have some cottage cheese from this past week where I made lasagna. So I'll use the rest of the cottage cheese, the rest of the leftover sauce, and then just whatever noodles I have on hand. And then we'll make some sourdough garlic toast. And then Saturday is chicken and stuffing bake with fruit. I've got a bag of stuffing to use up from last Thanksgiving. I'm not hosting Thanksgiving, so I want to make sure I use that up. So I'm just going to cook up some chicken and do like my own cream of chicken gravy kind of thing, and then stuffing goes over the top. Maybe I'll put some carrots in it. I don't really know. We'll kind of play that by ear with some fruit. So a basic idea of what we're going to have this week, and I've got my grocery list ready for Aldi. We did go to Costco. Let me turn the camera on Friday and picked up a few things. So I'm going to try to stay under $100 today if I can. If I can't, that's fine. The things we picked up at Costco were like toilet paper, paper towels. My husband needed some socks. We got Nutella because it is so much cheaper to buy the big tubs there than to buy the little ones at Aldi. The pretzels that my son likes. A few items that it is just significantly cheaper to buy it at Costco. So that is not included in this. That's why I'm trying with this list, hopefully to stay under $100 just to kind of compensate. Obviously, it's not going to make up for everything we spent at Costco because, you know, toilet paper and paper towels is $40. So, and we got paper plates too. So things like that will last us a really long time. But when I price compared, it's just cheaper to buy it at Costco. So we ran in there and did that. So I'm going to try to stay under $100, but I do have up to $100 if I need it. Working on dinner. This dinner has a lot of ingredients, but it's delicious. And I totally forgot that I had got these Halloween pasta at Aldi several weeks ago. So that's what we're going to use for our pasta for tonight. So I'm going to take these Butcher Box chicken strips. By the way, get yourself $50 off. Go to the description, click the link, get $50 off your first Butcher Box order. These chicken strips, 100% the best item they sell, but we really like all the other products as well. But we love the chicken strips. So it also calls for some bacon. I'm just using the fully cooked bacon from Costco. For the cheese sauce, it's some mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, butter, heavy whipping cream, Colby Jack, and garlic. These are going to be on the side, obviously not in it. And then for the honey, like spicy, that goes on top of the chicken strips, just calls for some pepper, some brown sugar, lemon juice, vinegar, honey, pineapple juice, and it calls for soy sauce, but I use coconut aminos. I buy that big bottle from Azure. So that's dinner. I'm going to get going on it, and I will check in throughout and kind of keep you posted. And at the very least, I will show you the completed dinner is done. My mother-in-law stopped over, and so my husband and my son already dished up. But this is the chicken and the mac and cheese with the Halloween noodles, applesauce for those who don't want raspberries, otherwise raspberries for the side, and that is dinner tonight. Time to get going on Monday's dinner. I have the Essential Baking Company pizza crust. I got these in my Thrive order. If you want to try Thrive, I can get you a code for 40% off. Go down in the description of this video and you can see it there. It is an organic pizza crust, and what I love about it is just the simple ingredients. We've actually had their bread before as well, but organic unbleached wheat flour, water, organic extra virgin olive oil, sea salt, and yeast. So they have a really good sourdough as well. And so we're going to use this. There's 2 pizza crusts in here. You can see it kind of got folded over, but that's all right. We're going to do that. We're going to cook up some ground beef. This is ground beef from Melaleuca with some onions. And then we've got some cheese here for the topping. This is the Colby Jack I shredded up yesterday. This is some Monterey Jack I used last week. And then I also have a cheddar should I need it if this is not enough. I'm going to use these first because they're open and shredded. And I want to make sure we use up what's open first. And I can save this for another day. We'll put some pickles on it. These are just some of the Purely pickles from Vlasic. And I'll just dice those up. And then the sauce is basically just a combination of mayo, mustard, and some ketchup. And then also some Worcestershire sauce will go in with the meat. And of course I'll season it with probably salt and pepper and garlic and all those kind of things. And then that will be dinner. We will have cheeseburger pizza, and I will figure out what we're going to have on the side, some sort of fruit. Sliced up the pickles, and then I've got my meat cooked over here. And I just turned the heat off. I'm just going to let it sit there. The pizza crusts are partially baking. I want them to get a little crispy before we add the toppings, and then we'll add the topping. Pizza crust here, and I baked it till it was a little bit crispy, and then I'm going to add my toppings. I did that because this oven is so unpredictable. I wanted to make sure that I could get the crust crispy. So we've got that. We're going to add the meat, the cheese, the pickles, and get it in the oven. These are done. They're out of the oven. Ignore the dogs drinking in the background. So we've got our pizzas. I'm just letting them rest till I cut them. We've got some cucumber cut up, pineapple, raspberries, some ranch for the cucumber. And this is dinner tonight. I will see you tomorrow for Halloween dinner. Halloween, so we are getting ready to work on dinner now so we can get ready to go trick-or-treating. We got snow overnight. It feels like Christmas and not Halloween, so it's going to be very, very cold out there tonight. I think like in the 30s, like low 30s. So we have these French fries that I got in my Ruby's Pantry order, so I'm going to cook these up. And then I've got, these came in my Fare for All box, so we're going to use this up, but it only had 8, which I didn't think would be enough, plus some for leftovers. So I also picked up the package of hot dogs at Aldi that I showed you. So there's 5 more dogs there, so we'll make both of those, and then the crescent rolls from Aldi. I don't know if we'll need both of them or not, but this is what we're going to do for dinner. Dinner is done. We've got our fries. We have our mummies, just dogs wrapped in crescent rolls. We've got leftover cucumbers, raspberries, and pineapple from dinner last night, so I put that out. I'm going to have some pickles with it. This jar is almost gone, so we'll open that one next. Some ketchup, and we are going to eat and then get ready to go trick-or-treating. Start prepping dinner. The kids are gone tonight, so it's just my husband and I, so I'm going to make this soup. My daughter really isn't a soup fan, so I try to save the soup for nights she's not eating at home. This is a corn chowder mix from Frontier Soups, Anderson House. I made one of these last week too, a different kind, but it's a corn chowder. It's 2 to 3 white potatoes, chicken broth, heavy cream, and then optional 2 to 3 ears of corn. I'm adding in some bacon. And the ingredients that are in it are corn, rice, onion, carrot, bell pepper, celery, chive, and bay leaf. So I'm hoping that I can make this because this is a long cook time, but I'm thinking I can maybe do it in the Instant Pot and cut the cook time down. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So I've got that. These are the potatoes that I got in my Fare for All pickup. So we're going to keep using those. I just have some heavy cream and some Better Than Bouillon. And then the bacon is Butcher Box. Make sure you check my description for $50 off if you want to try Butcher Box. I really love their bacon. And I'm going to get going on dinner. Cooked up the bacon, and then I just took out the fat, and then I added in the 8 cups of water. I have not added in my Better Than Bouillon yet. 8 cups of water, and I just scraped off the bottom to get all the extra bits. And I'm going to put the soup mix in there. And then I've got my potatoes cut up. I'm going to put these in there. Add in some teaspoons of Better Than Bouillon. I'm going to add in part of the bacon. Then I'm going to set it to sealing, and I think I'm going to have it cook a half an hour. All right, the soup is all done. I added the cream and everything. So that's ready to eat. So I'm going to dish it up, and that's dinner tonight. It's about 8:30 in the morning. Excuse me. And I am going to soak 1 pound of pinto beans. I'm going to do these in the Instant Pot tonight, and we're going to do pinto beans over rice for dinner tonight. I am going to pull out 1 pound of bacon that I'm going to cook in the Instant Pot with the beans, and we'll serve that. I think I might put some carrots in there, some celery, some jalapeno peppers, just kind of variety of things. Just beef it up and then serve it over rice, and that will be our dinner for tonight. So I'll take you along later this evening when we get going on Thursday. I'm all thrown off because my husband worked today and he doesn't normally work Thursdays. We are going to get the pinto beans going in the Instant Pot, and I'll show you everything we've got going. And I was going to do pinto beans and rice, but I opted to change it up a little. We're going to change the flavoring of the pinto beans, and we're going to do pinto beans with cornbread instead, since I didn't realize that the soup we had last night had rice in it. So, not that we couldn't eat rice twice, we certainly could, but I also like to cook my rice in my Instant Pot, and that's where my beans are going to cook. So I was like, let's just make it easier on myself and make some cornbread instead. So we're going to do the pinto beans with cornbread for dinner, and then I think I'll cut up some apples. Let me turn the camera around and show you what we're doing for the dinner. So I have 1 pound of pinto beans that I've been soaking all day. Like I told you earlier, I've got those frozen onions that we pre-diced last week. I've got some Butcher Box bacon. Again, I have $50 off if you want to get Butcher Box. And then for seasonings, we've got some granulated garlic, roasted garlic, chili powder, bay leaf, cumin, oregano, and pepper, and then Better Than Bouillon for the broth to cook the beans in. So that is what we're going to do, is pinto beans and cornbread for dinner, and I will take you along and show you when it's all done. Forgot that we also have some diced jalapenos in the freezer that we grew, so I'm going to add some of this to the beans as well. I got them drained and rinsed, and they're ready for when the bacon is done, and then we'll add these in. It's done, and I took most of the grease out, but I left a little bit in there to cook up those onions and jalapeno peppers. Plus, it also helps to get the brown bits off the bottom, which we want those because that's flavor. So we're just going to let those cook away a little bit and keep on moving along. I've got my first 2 cups of water ready. I'm going to need probably 6 cups total, so I'm just ready with 2 for now. I added in all those lovely spices. I'm just going to let those cook in there for a few minutes as well to really bloom up those flavors that are in those seasonings. Wake them up a little bit. Cornbread, I've got my ingredients out. We've got sugar, flour, cornmeal. I've got butter that I'm softening some in the microwave right now. Some eggs, baking powder, and then it called for milk. And instead of using our milk from the fridge, I pulled out my milk powder because I'm almost out of that, and just made up the milk powder to use for the baking, since that works just fine. So I'm going to get this going too. Butter for my cornbread is all mixed up. I'm just waiting for the pan to heat up in the oven. I've got butter in my cast iron melting. As the oven preheats, I'll dump this in there and bake it for approximately 20 to 30 minutes. Just depends. This oven's a little finicky. So that will be the side. Our beans are in process, and the noise you hear is my dogs drinking water. So here we go. Made up some homemade vanilla pudding. I'm going to actually make the Snickers apple salad for dessert tonight, since we have a lot of apples, and of course we have Snickers left over from trick-or-treating. So I thought I would make homemade vanilla pudding, and that will be dessert tonight. Dinner's done. Cornbread's ready. We shredded up some cheese. Here's the pinto beans. It ended up being more like a pinto bean soup than just pinto beans. That's fine. It'll still taste good. That's dinner tonight. Here's the Snicker apple salad for dessert. Dinner tonight, we're doing a pasta bake. So I've got some noodles. This is just some spaghetti sauce that I made a couple weeks ago and froze. Leftover cottage cheese from last week's lasagna. I'll use the rest of that, mix it all together in a dish and bake it. We've got some garlic and some Italian seasoning. I'll mix into the cottage cheese and top it with mozzarella cheese. And then we didn't need both cans of the crescent rolls that I bought, so I'm going to use these, and I'm just going to slice them and then mush them down and then brush them with butter and garlic and bake them, and that will be our side for dinner tonight. Just cut those croissants, and I just kind of mash them down into the circles, and I've got garlic and butter and parsley, And then in here is just the cottage cheese, and I just put all the seasonings in there, and I'll mix that with the pasta when it's done cooked. The noodles are cooked, and I mixed it with the sauce and the cottage cheese mixture, top it with cheese, and into the oven while the croissant things bake. Just like that, dinner's done. These are the croissant things, and these are the pasta, or this is the pasta, and now we're gonna eat before I head to a girls' Christmas decorating night. Dinner time. I am not making what I originally planned because we were gone and we're just home a little later and I don't have time to cook up the chicken that I wanted to. So I'll move that meal to next week, which is totally fine. So for today, we're going to do sweet and sour chicken. We got these honey battered breast tenders from Aldi that everyone's been wanting to try. So I'm going to cook those up and I'm going to make a homemade sweet and sour sauce. Then we have this broccoli stir fry veggie mix, some chicken egg rolls, and then some rice. So I'm just gonna make some white rice. This is basmati rice in the Instant Pot. Cook everything else up, and that will be our dinner for tonight. It's done. Veggies are heated, rice is cooked, sweet and sour sauce is made, the chicken's heated, the egg rolls are done, and it's time to eat. And this is dinner tonight. Thank you so much for watching this week's meals. Make sure you check out the description for all the links for the various products, and I hope that you'll hit that like and subscribe and join me next week for another round of meal planning and what we ate for the week. And I'll see you later. God bless.